Hello, welcome to Prequel, Sequel, Requel, the show where we pick a film or a franchise and give it a prequel, a sequel, and a requel with a panel of comedians and movie lovers. And tonight is a Stephen King, I'm going to say classic. I think it won a couple of Oscars, this one, or it certainly got nominated. We're doing Misery tonight. Classic film about knocking somebody's ankle in, or both of them actually, and writing and typewriters getting it over people's heads. Spoilers. But anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's bring our lovely panel in this evening. First of all, he's here every week. He's your friend and mine. He's a comedian. It's Eddie French. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Chris. You all right?
I'm all right. Yes. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Actually, welcome if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch this evening. Multi-threat.
Just you can get this bit out of the way by just giving it a like and a subscribe right now. You won't have to think about it for the rest of the show. All good.
Good. And, how's your week been?
It's been good, actually. I enjoyed watching Misery. I like the way you sort of, when you discuss films, you sort of don't talk about themes. You talk about sort of events that happen over like 2 seconds. Like there's that 4 seconds with the typewriter, 5 seconds with the sledgehammer, not sort of themes of like isolation, desperation, obsession. That's not what cinema is. That's good.
It's all about set pieces for me. It's all set pieces.
Well, I mean, and there are
car
plenty in
flipped over in snow. Car flipped over in snow as well. Forgot that bit.
That's true. Yeah,
good film. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. If anyone wants to watch it, by the way, I watched it on YouTube. Someone has uploaded it to YouTube. If you don't mind what I think are Eastern European, perhaps language of that sort, subtitles, then they don't get in the way. But you can watch the whole thing on YouTube. So
you can learn how to say "dirty birdie" in Russian.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's not in Cyrillic, but it's got it's the Arabic alphabet. But either way,
it's free. It's free, just like Amazon Prime,
because it wasn't free on Amazon Prime.
I was just thinking about coming to America too, but we're not talking about that tonight.
No, I've not seen that one yet, but I went to look at it on Amazon Prime, and it was $7.99 HD to watch Misery. I'm like, that film's been out a while, and what does HD bring to Misery? All those brilliant special effects, all that the graphics and stuff are going to look mental. Yeah.
Well, let's bring our next panelist in. Let's not talk anymore. We're going to ask you about your job, but we'll do that in a minute. Right then, let's bring our next panelist in. Why am I talking like a robot? She's your friend of mine. She's a comedian. She's a singer. She used to sing in a choir. I'm going to ask her about that next. Did you know that, Eddie? It's your friend of mine. It's Natalie Smeaton. Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
All right. How are you?
I'm good. Eddie, looking sharp.
I'm in 1080p right now.
Beautiful.
It'll look good until it can't cope with it, and it'll shut down and shut all the systems
down. It'll do that. Yeah.
I never go in 1080p. I look bad enough in 520.
I sit further from the camera than you, so it sort of evens out. We look roughly the same level of blur.
I'll sit like that. I can't see what's going on though, because I'm like that. What's that? What did you say? Like that.
Well, this new webcam we've got a ring light on it, so if I put my specs on, it's just going to be sort of. You can just it's going to be pretty bad. So
how's your week been, Nat? What have you been up to?
Do you know what? It's been a lovely week. It's been busy though, busy with work, lots going on, but it's been really nice. And like it for ages, absolutely loved watching it. Thought it was fantastic. Got some ideas for doing things with sledgehammers. That sort of stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Good film. Enjoyed watching it again. James Caan got quite an easy acting job, I guess, didn't he? Having laid down all for film. But still
with the despair and the angst and the screaming and the shouting.
I know, I'm only kidding. We're good, very good. Rob Reiner directed it as well. I forgot that.
Yeah. It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he must have had a bit of a Stephen King phase where he went, I'll knock another one out of the park. Why not? I don't know if he smokes. Fuck it. If you're watching
Rob Reiner's really anti-smoking.
Is he?
Yeah. He's like quite outspoken. Sort of.
I mean, he was just miming one.
Oh yeah. He's
addicted to right now.
He's addicted to imaginary cigarettes, but he thinks real cigarettes are foul. He's like, ugh, don't like them. But give me a fake one.
I was going to say, we usually have a special guest on tonight, but unfortunately, they can't make it tonight. They had to pull out in the last minute. So it's just the three of us, which means tonight, if you've seen the show before, I'm going to actually have a go. Usually I just sit here going, I'll keep an eye on things, but I'm going to actually have a go at the pitches tonight. If you've not seen the show before, what happens? We're all going to pitch a prequel, a sequel, and a requel, so a reboot or a reimagination of Misery, okay? We get a minute or so to do it, and then the other panelists can ask questions to put us on the spot. Okie doke. We're going to start off, but first of all, I'm going to read you the back of the DVD box for Misery. This is how they sold the show back in the day. Are you ready for this one?
Oh, I was born
It's a
ready.
short one. It's a short one. Novelist Paul Sheldon doesn't remember the blinding blizzard that sent his car spinning off the road, nor does he remember being nursed back from unconsciousness. All he remembers is waking up in the home of Annie Wilkes, a maniacal fan who is bent on keeping her favourite writer as her personal prisoner for the rest of his cockadoodle life. That's what she says. She says cockadoodle quite lightly.
She does, yeah. She doesn't like swearing.
Cockadoodle, cockadoodie.
She's great in this. She loses it loads, doesn't she? And then, like, instantly, it's a good acting piece, really, isn't it, for him? You are right now when you said about him, his acting chops.
I found out earlier that there was a stage play of this with Bruce Willis and Laurie Metcalf.
No,
and this was like in the last 10 years or so. They did, yeah. Laurie Metcalf, who you might know from Roseanne and what have you. Or The Conners, as it's known now. Let's not get into that. And Bruce Willis. And there was like a sort of a two-hander play that they did in New York. I thought, that's pretty good. I could,
I mean, there's not that many characters in it, is there, really? So you could see how they could easily do
and
that.
Stephen King does what Stephen King always does, which is gets you to fall in love with a character who's a really, really nice character and then murders them gruesomely at the end.
You mean Annie? I know.
No, sadly. Not even the pig. Not even the pig.
She was great.
That lovely cop.
Well, this was supposed to be a Bachman book, but by that time it was because it's not got any sort of like supernatural stuff. It was supposed to be a Richard Bachman book, but by that time he'd been outed as Richard Bachman, so there was no point.
Right. In my opinion, it is one of the best novels. I love it.
Right. I've not read the novel, I have to say, but it is a good.
Thanks, Big T. Mark. Thanks for the support.
Chris is OG panelist.
Yeah. Don't worry, mine are very short. Don't worry, Big T. You'll be all right.
Big T, if you
wait
go
until
back,
Labour watching this with Connor. Great film. Wow,
That's
what a thing to go into Labour watching. We legs up on stirrups, Mandy.
Yes, yeah. It was. I imagine it was.
And then Connor, husband came in with a sledgehammer.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. There's a wheelchair. That is how pregnant women are wheeled about. There was a sort of a hospital bed. There was a drip stand. There was also a cannula. There was all sorts of. So yeah, it just sort of put her in the frame of mind of a medical procedure, and then went, "Oh, that's right, I'm due one."
Due one now, right then. So let's start with the prequels then. So you're all going to pick prequels to me for Misery. Hang on, we've got here we go. We've got our regular bit of what do you call it? Spam. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Want to become famous? Yes, we do. Oh yeah.
Mate. How did you know?
Primes and viewers on it's bigfollows.com. We need
big follows.
Bigfollows.com.
Yeah.
They've had to space the .com. Look, else they want to pass the censors. Thanks for tuning in, you arsehole.
Thank you, Black.
1232. 1232. That's the combination on my luggage. We're doing Spaceballs next week, I believe. There you go.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
It's the same combination as my luggage. Right, let's get on with this. Sorry for time.
Come on. You're just playing for time because you're a panelist and you're scared.
I know. I don't want to do it. Right. Okay, Eddie. We're going to go
first.
It's
funny when Chris is doing. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Here we go. Your prequel.
So, Marcia Sindel knows what makes good writing: pain, suffering, and desperation. She sat in her big fancy office at the publishing company where she works, and she's just put the phone down whilst talking to Paul about what he's been through. And she pours herself a drink and she wistfully looks out the window, and she flashes back to her in the 1950s, where she's at a party in the UK, and she's introducing Sylvia Plath to her one-day husband, Ted Hughes. And we get to see a bit of that particular turbulent and ultimately tragic relationship. At Sylvia Plath's funeral, she thanks Ted Hughes and gives him a small folded piece of paper that looks an awful lot like a banker's check. We then flash further back and we see her suggesting to Ernest Hemingway that he should go and see the Spanish Civil War firsthand. Upon his return, she keeps anonymously sending him crates of booze, and she is there in the background as he attends his electroshock therapy in 1960. And then, in 1961, after his suicide, she signs a deal to the exclusive rights to his work. Upon receiving the... then we flash back to a bit more recently. Upon receiving the manuscript to the first Misery novel, she finishes it, she puts it down, and then she makes a phone call and says, "Annie, I've got something I'd like you to read."
What?
Well, this is embarrassing because Eddie and I have had a very similar idea.
Have we? Oh, I was so pleased.
Yeah,
My
me too.
Show your face, Lumb.
Yeah. My handwriting has got progressively worse on this because I was so excited about the idea. I'm like, I am such a clever boy. I was just scribbling it down, but apparently, yeah.
We got Martin's just clicked on the link. Don't click, it's clickbait, Martin.
Oh,
Going down
Martin.
the rabbit hole.
Oh, no.
Check your bank statement, Martin. You've had it.
We'll never see him again.
Let's ask questions then for Eddie.
Yeah.
We'll never see him again.
Usually I ask the other person. I've got to think of a question here.
So, okay, so we're going to be seeing some quite famous authors through this. Are you going to deep fake them with the real authors and any clips that there are of them? Or are you going to have actors playing them? And if so, which ones?
That's a very good question. I imagine that Scarlett Johansson would be up for playing Sylvia Plath.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Probably she's probably about the right age, but I don't know. But again, it doesn't matter. I think she'd be good. I think. Let me see. Who could be Ted Hughes?
No, Martin, I've already written it.
Chris Lumb could play Ted Hughes, the gruff Yorkshire poet.
Yeah, I need some work. That'd be good.
Yeah. So we'll let Chris play him.
Yeah, I'll do it for scale.
That's all you'd be getting anyway.
Yeah.
Ernest Hemingway. That's a good one. I don't know who could be Ernest Hemingway, but yeah, it would be nice to have some sort of quite substantial cameos. They're not sort of like Roger Moore, I just do cameos kind of thing. They're like, you get a good 20 minutes of really chewable work being that author, and then it goes off into the other stories and stuff. So yeah, I think that would be we'd have some talent doing that, definitely.
Awesome. Okay, I'm happy.
Okay.
And we would also be deep faking a younger Lauren Bacall from her films with Humphrey Bogart, which is the main reason I chose to do her, because it was one of her very rare film appearances after her wonderful heyday.
Cool. Okay, my question is, will there be any surviving members of the Police Academy cast in this film? And if so, who?
I think
Stumped him, look.
I would like Steve Guttenberg to play the doctor who performs the electroshock treatment on Ernest Hemingway.
Mm-hmm.
I would like obviously Motormouth Jones. What's his name? Winslow. He can play the oven that Sylvia Plath gasses herself in. He can do anything, and he could also do like a funny like egg timer noise when she's done, because he just does that in general.
Yeah. Okay.
And the goldfish can be a cameo in the scene and just in a background.
All right. That answers my question. Thank you. That's it. That's the question. Now it's your turn for your prequel.
All right.
It feels unfinished, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? So this is similar but not the same. But I think Eddie and I were having the same moment together. Okay, so Marcia Sindel is a literary agent to some very boring clients. Still, they make her money and that's all she cares about. Recently, though, she's been losing clients, not because she's a rubbish agent, because they're getting old and they're dying off. Without John T. Claypole's best-selling books on the history of skirting boards, or her latest clients, and her latest client to die of old age's incredibly interesting series on toenails, she'll go bust. On top of that, her number one writer is killing off his best-selling character, Misery Chastain. Well, not on her watch. She tips off his super obsessed superfan that he's staying in his favourite hotel, tells Paul Sheldon that the snowstorm is not as bad as it makes out on the news, and he'll definitely make it home. And once she knows Annie Wilkes has him, she pretends not to know where he is, so Annie can make him resurrect Misery and get her some dollar.
Wow. All right. I like what you're doing there, because I've got to say in the film, this isn't a question. In the film,
this is a statement.
It's a statement.
An observation.
Where's my camera? Can you hear me? My camera's
yeah,
off. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say now because I freaked out. In the film, it was pretty coincidental that she just toddled along on it. After. Oh, she said she'd been following him, didn't she? Actually,
yeah. She said she'd been watching his window, and then she'd driven behind him, And
that's the bit where he should have gone. See what, motherfucker? Shot her.
Oh, so you have recently watched Coming to America?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I don't want to say out about it because
it's clearly influenced your choice of language. Oh no, apparently this one's PG-13, isn't it? It's not. There's no
swearing. I've been watching a load of reviews online of it, and they all just say it's garbage, all of them.
I will still watch it, but I
so wanted to like it as well. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Misery. Right then, questions for Nat. Let's have a think. It's pretty similar to yours, isn't it? Really.
It is. Yeah. Although this one's the first time that she's done it, whereas mine she's just got a history of knocking off famous writers and having access to their work. So
she's only just become evil in mine, where she's been evil all the time in Eddie's.
Oh yeah, no, she's I mean, how many
roads must a man walk down?
Yeah, what?
That's my question, actually. Go on, I'll have my question. How many roads must a man walk down before you could call him a man?
At least 7, and they've all got to be different roads, and they've got to be into oncoming traffic, and he's got to be holding a kitten in at least one of them. Yeah.
Okay, that's
my opinion.
Question.
Yeah.
Because a man without sensitivity is not whole.
Yeah, if he's not vulnerable enough to do that whilst holding a kitten, is he vulnerable enough to be in a relationship? That's my question to you.
Very unlikely. But yes.
Exactly.
Well, that works. Yeah. No, the math checks out. Not really.
Hang on a minute. I'll let you think. Randy Watson and Sexual Chocolate About. Yes, they are, Martin. The back. In unbelievable cameos. You know where they put cameos in? We're talking about Coming to America as well now. It's a double show. No. Right. Do you know where you watch a film and they throw cameos in it that don't belong there at all? It's like, why would they be there? That happens all the time. Anyway.
Oh, well, they're just in the supermarket or something. Or just
And there's a really weird line where he goes, "I'm going to take Queens back to Zamunda," and then he flies all the characters. You're like, what? Yeah.
He's not happy.
Anyway.
I heard Mark Bernardin's opinion on it, and it was interesting. But anyway, no, I don't actually, because I think it's. Well, it's sort of similar, but it's also fairly watertight.
Yeah,
fair enough.
It is pretty comprehensive. So no, I'm comfortable enough with that.
All
Thank
right,
you very much.
right. We'll move on then to it's my go. It's my go. I ain't done this for ages. You remember back in the day when I did Jingle All the Way? Right then. Okay, mine is about. It's basically Paul. It's about his young life on the streets. Okay, so he's in a gang, and they've all got specific skills. Yeah, Paul's an expert lock opener and closer, as we saw in Misery. Because he like does that so like expert. You're like, what? You know when he's opening the door and he's like
with the hair clip,
locking it behind him. I'm like, you can't just do that. It's not, no matter how good you are. But he's an expert. That's why that explains.
Right.
I wanted that backstory explaining. You know. Then so that's like in the film. And then one member of the gang is an expert jar opener. So they've all got these different skills. So like he can open pickle jars, you know, you're like, I can't fucking open that. You like give him it, he's like, no problem. You're like, wow. One of them's an expert road crosser, you know, on the mean streets, he can cross roads, you know, cars are coming, he's like, I've got no problem, I've got this down. One's an expert knife flipper, you know, flip your knife up in the air and catch it, never stab anybody, just flip it, right? One's an expert comber, so he's always combing his hair and it looks amazing. Right, and then one's an expert cig roller, and then flicking it behind his ear. So they're all experts in their own field, and together they go on many little adventures together on the mean streets of wherever they lived. Was it Chicago or New York or?
I think it was New York.
Somewhere.
Well,
I can't remember.
He was based in New York, so I don't know.
So that's it. A tough little gang on the streets of New York. You find out what makes the author, and he turns his life around at one point, and he goes, "Do you know I've had it with this gang? You're all rogues. You're all opening jars and flipping cigarettes, combing your hair. I'm gonna go be a writer."
So
the end.
Oh, the end. Right.
Ask questions, please.
Question is, what sort of adventures do they get on? It's a very specific skill set. So what adventures do they have that require those skills?
Well, all the skills.
Right.
Well,
at least
one where they need the jar opening kid.
Well, I mean, the jar opening kid, he opens jars, but you know, you get yourself in quite a pickle sometimes. He needs to open that jar of pickles. It's all metaphors and everything, this film, you know what I mean?
Oh, right. So there's double layers. So is the combing of the hair actually like more of a...
He's combing the streets of crime, you know what I mean? He's actually sorting out the crime. Yeah. Who else do we have? The road crosser's actually looking out for the kids in the neighborhood, making sure they're all safe. You know what I mean? There's more to it than.
When you say road crosser, do you mean lollipop man?
Yeah, knife throwers teaching kids how to juggle. So they're all doing stuff for the community. You know what I mean? It's you kind of go into it thinking, oh, this is a set of bad lads. They're up to no good. But then you look at the film and you go, oh, actually, these are all they're all right, really.
In that case, my question is, where did he get the urge to write, I mean, like 7 Victorian romance novels from?
His auntie told him she used to tell him stories, right, when they were in like this rundown room where they lived together. There were like 18 people in one room, right? It's in the notes, it's all in the notes, and she used to tell these stories to kind of entertain him, and she made it all up, and he actually pilfered her work on the deathbed. Actually, on the deathbed, she kind of said, I want you to tell these stories. I want you. That's my dying request. You tell these stories to get them out to the public.
As a follow-up, why on earth did this aunt?
You're not allowed to follow up. Let's move on.
I am. Why did this aunt? Tell
auntie. She didn't like being called an aunt.
I beg your pardon. Why did this auntie think it was appropriate to tell a young boy all of these Victorian bodice rippers?
Because they all had to learn, because they were at various ages, these 18 kids, or 17 kids and auntie. They were all different ages, so some of them were advancing in the way people do. So she felt like she better have a sit down with them all at once and tell them all together. So
she
like
did
the
a one
rough end of the deal.
One size fits all.
I mean, they were like
bodice ripper bedtime story.
They were like a young kid in there, and he were like, "What are you all talking about? I'm not old enough for this." And she's like, "You've all got to know." So it were a bit awkward.
So some of them were scarred for life. Some of them were adolescents. Yeah. Okay.
So I hope that makes sense. It's in the notes.
Oh,
Absolutely
well,
brilliant.
I hope it makes sense
Absolutely.
too, but sure.
Yeah. Right then, shall we vote on some things? Let's do
Yeah,
some voting.
well, I feel like, as much as I loved Eddie's, it would be a
Hang
bit
on a
like
minute.
voting-
Do you want the recaps or not?
Oh, God, I forgot about recaps because you didn't do them properly last week.
I know that's because
Oh,
we're
yeah.
having technical problems and I'm
Yes,
skirting around it.
it's a slim down one, wasn't it? Go
I
on.
don't know if
Oh.
do you actually want the recaps? Do we? We don't need to do it, do we?
Go on, give us a quick one.
I can't remember them though this week.
Don't matter.
I've got enough to do remembering mine, let alone.
Don't
Right.
matter then, don't matter
Oh,
then,
let's
don't
skip
matter.
the recaps. Fuck it,
Don't
we'll
matter.
read them.
Sure.
Don't matter.
Right then, let's vote. See, if you're watching along on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, you can vote now for your favourite. Remember what you heard. I'm sure you will. And we'll vote in the room as well. We get a vote each. Can't vote for your own.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to vote for Chris's because voting for Eddie's is a bit too much like voting for mine.
I'm voting for Chris for that reason too. However,
Default.
I also default. However, I also quite want to see. Well, I want to see where this. I quite want to see where this sort of menacing street gang. One of them's like sort of toying with a cigarette. One of them's combing his hair. One of them's flipping a knife. One of them's just opening a jar at people. I quite want to see that as a menacing bit. So yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you. Right, let me think.
Oh, it's an hard choice, Chris. It's an hard choice.
It is an hard choice. I'm actually gonna give it to Eddie because he actually tied more things in with the authors and all that. That's what I'm going to go for. That's what I'm going to be very
Is it
diplomatic.
because of the Police Academy bit? It was, wasn't
No,
it? It was, wasn't it?
What about that? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. No, if you'd have clinched it with that for me there, if you'd have named more titles of the stuff that I liked that, and I thought one more, you'd have had me with that vote.
Oh well, that's a
You
lesson
said about the
learned.
toenails. You said about the history of skirting boards, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Skirting boards, yeah.
You'd have had it then.
Well,
let's
lesson
have a-
learned for me.
Yeah, so Eddie, vote there. Let's have a look. Big team art. I'll go with Chris, even though I didn't hear Eddie and Nats, as I noticed Mr. French guitar on the wall and daydreamed. Ed playing the Julian banjo theme. I think Lockdown is getting to me.
I
Me
can
too.
do. I've got a banjo back there if you want.
Got a banjo.
I've got a banjo, yeah.
Big team
So-
art. Do you want it playing?
Right, yeah, Big Timor. If you want to hear it, let us know. I'll go and get it.
We'll see what he says.
We'll see what he says.
See what he says. Just wait for him to reply. Just like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sit there, nothing. Come on.
Martin Cameron, can we give Chris a chance to win? for
Don't
once?
pity vote him.
What do you mean? He's just
pity
got
vote
three
him.
votes from
I'll
the
take
top.
pity votes. I'll take default votes. I'll take anything.
Unbelievable.
Well,
Unbelievable.
it looks like, you know what I mean? I don't do this for ages, and then I just come on and I just storm it the first round. So
Just batter
you
up and kapow, home
yeah,
run.
don't be jealous. He said yes, please.
All right, half a moment.
With a smiley face. We won't get a copyright strike, will we? Julian Banjos, probably not. I've had a copyright strike on my channel already this week.
You have, haven't you?
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
happy. Bloody Disney.
All right.
Here he is. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Musical interlude. I've just got another vote. Pity vote. I'll have it. I'll take it.
Pity
I'll take it.
vote.
I'll
Right,
take a pity
fine.
vote. It's fine. That was very
Fine.
nice.
Yeah, have a pity
Well
vote.
done, Eddie.
Do it. Thank you.
That's his buy for this year. What? This is buy for the year.
That's your buy for the year, Chris, maybe. You pity vote.
Oh. I don't know what that means.
No, I'm not sure. It might have been a typo. We'll find out.
Yeah. That's his bit for the year. No, buy.
He's done
No,
2
we'll
others.
we'll find out. We'll find out. I don't know.
He's
we'll
done
find
2
out.
others because otherwise the game won't work.
Yeah. Right then. So we're going to go straight onto the sequels. It's all to play for.
It's all to
It's
play
all to play
for.
for this evening.
Okay.
We'll double check who's winning so far. It's me. I'm in the lead.
It is you.
Far.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, we're going to.
Okay, just for everyone watching, I'm afraid that we'll never have any guests again because Chris has just realised he's won a round, and now no one else is allowed to play. It'll just be Chris winning from now on.
You got an awesome
thank you
for that. Well done. Well done.
Thank you
very
very
good.
much.
Ed has grown up. Does he miss Burt Reynolds? Martin, are you drinking tonight by any chance? Because I don't know what you mean. Does he miss Burt Reynolds?
Oh, Deliverance.
Oh, right. But why have you grown up?
Oh, what's his name?
Oh, the kid,
guy who gets bummed.
the what's he called? Pork boy.
Squeal like a pig.
Squeal like a pig. He's not called Pork boy. Is he? What's the kid?
He's not called Pork Boy. I can't remember his name, but he played Lex Luthor's mate in the Superman films, didn't he?
Yeah. Get a banjo, Martin. You got time to have a play? I'll play that one.
Lockdown, man. Come on.
Have a go. Yeah. Right then, let's move on to the sequel. So, Nat, you're going first this time to mix it up a bit. Are you ready?
Right. I'm ready. So mine is about Virginia, the now widow of the poor cop who was killed trying to rescue Paul Sheldon. Okay, here we go. Virginia is out for what?
Sorry, I'm just looking at my sequel, and I think Chris might win this one again. Anyway, carry on.
No, we can't. We can't vote for him, Eddie, no matter what happens. Okay,
Fair enough.
Virginia is out for revenge. She has never got over her husband being shot in Annie Wilkes' house, and now she's gone mad with grief. At first, she did small things like pooing on Annie Wilkes' grave or writing rude graffiti on Annie's gravestone. Then she would follow men with mustaches like her husband's. After that, she went to cosplay events and verbally attacked people dressed as the characters from the books, eventually throwing rotten food and cat poo at them. Now banned from all national Comic-Cons and cosplay events for attacking.
What's happened? Nat, you're muted. I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry, my cat just jumped off my knee, so I think that's what happened. Where did you get to?
Go back. Cosplay events. Got to
cosplay events and stuff.
So she got kicked out of the Comic-Cons and cosplay events for attacking so many Misery Chastains. In the end, she decides the only thing left to do is turn her rage to Paul Sheldon himself. She decides she must finish what Annie Wilkes started and bump him off. She goes to a book signing for Paul, and while he's looking down and signing her book, she runs over him with a snowplow and kills him dead.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Questions.
There's sort of a falling down vibe, I feel. That's sort of just mounted up and, yeah.
Have you got a question?
Who plays Misery Chastain in the films of the Misery books in this world?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah,
that's good.
That was quick. That was a quick
image,
Yeah.
The image I have of Misery Chastain, whenever you see a body stripper, it's always like big hair and curves.
Oh,
and beautiful,
yeah.
like gorgeous, almost pin-uppy, like, so yeah. I'd say, yeah.
You don't see much of Catherine Zeta-Jones now, do you? I wonder what she's doing.
Until the Misery Chastain universe comes out. Okay, cool. Because obviously,
do you remember that film she did with Sean Connery with laser beams?
What was that called? In the Towers? The big
Entrapment.
Thing. Yeah.
Entrapment, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought
that was just a small amount of raving. That was just
Towers, yeah. You're the most beautiful spy I've ever seen. That was in the trailer. Anyway, then she did Zorro, and they went, ooh. Oh no, they made a sequel, didn't they? I don't know what. This isn't my question at all. It's not.
No, it's not.
I'm just thinking. Right, I want to know. Right, snowplow.
Snowplow.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got a two-parter question, if I'm allowed it.
Yeah. First
of all, is it the snowplow from Gremlins?
Well, it can be the snowplow from Gremlins if you want. I mean, it'll be.
No, is it the snowplow from Gremlins?
It is.
No,
we'll
it can
hire
be.
it. It is. It is.
Okay.
We'll hire it. Yeah, we'll get the
Part
snowplow.
two
from
of the
Gremlins.
question is, why is she killing him at a book signing on a snowplow? Is this book signing taking place in a snowy area?
Is it in Silver Creek?
Or is
Well,
it just in the middle of a city and she's just gone on a rampage and drove a snowplow
she's
through?
literally just gone on a rampage and drove it. What she does is she drives it into the parking lot.
Right.
She like parks up, goes and buys a book, gets herself in the queue, and then when she's getting near the front, she asks somebody to save a place, runs, jumps in the snowplow, comes back, smashes him in the face. Yeah.
Does she take out? Does she take out any other people, innocent bystanders?
As many as she can, yeah, because it's a big snowplow in it. Lots of people are going to go under those wheels, but she doesn't care at that point.
I like the idea that she gets out, she goes and gets the pay and display ticket, sticks that on the snowplow, goes in. Yeah. She's like, "Oh, hang on, I've got my membership card, so I get 5% off this book." I mean, it doesn't matter because she's going to prison for a very long time. She's still. I'll get the points on that, and I'll get a free book in 10 years. Yeah. Cool. So, and this is a reasonably. This is a lady who's seen a few summers, right? She's an older woman.
Yeah.
And so she's devoted the remainder of her life to doing two different poo-related revenges, as I can tell, her own and Kat's.
So she felt like just desecrating the grave of Annie in various ways would give her the relief that she needed, but turns out it didn't. And so not only did the revenge escalate, but the poo-based revenge escalated.
She upped her dose, which, as any heroin user will tell you, it's going to be a bad time. Yeah. Never up your dose.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Right then. That was the questions then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Right, it's my go. It's pretty short, mine, actually. Right, you ready for this? Okay, here we go. Misery 2.
The misery inning.
No, let me pitch. Hang on, I want the same courtesy we give everybody on this show. You don't interrupt pitches.
You're right.
It's in the rule book.
I'm still getting used to you pitching again. Forgive me.
I'm getting my minute back. I'm having my minute again. I'm starting my timer off.
It was a glitch of a pitch. I'm sorry.
All right, here we go. Misery 2. Multi-misery. That's the subtitle. Okay. Paul is in present day, right? And he keeps seeing Annie everywhere like he did in the film at the end. You know, he's seeing her all the time. Like, it's driving him nuts, right? He's like, how can I keep seeing her? How do I get her out of my head? You know, why is it happening all the time? Turns out she only fucking cloned herself back in the day, didn't
Shut
she?
Your
right?
face.
In the house, you know, it was a massive house, wasn't it, right? She had a cloning facility in the house, and you never saw it because it were in one of the other sections. If only they'd have gone and had a look around, they'd have found all the clones. But so she'd been cloning herself, and the Annies you saw in the film were all different clones. So she were actually watching what he were doing all the time. When he thought she'd gone out driving or walked out in the rain and all that business, there was actually more clones having a peek at him, right? So she knew exactly what they were doing all the time. That's why when he puts the knife under the bed, she knew where it was and all that business. She knew he'd put it there because she was like, how would she know that? You know, without checking the pills as well. You know, he managed to secrete some of them on himself. But anyway, but she knew, you know, when she knocked the wine over as well with the pills. That's why she did it. She fucking knew it were in there. She knew what we were up to all the time. There you go. Anyway, right. So it turns out to clone herself. So there's one thing for it. Paul decides, right, I've got to stop this once and for all. It's doing me head in. I'm seeing her everywhere. I don't know what's going on. So he begins to systematically hunt down all the Annies and kills them off the only way he knows how, with his weapon of choice, the typewriter. So he buys a load of typewriters, all different shapes and styles, and you know, and he puts them all in his car and he just goes around the USA killing them all like Terminator. The end. Oh, and they have a big battle at the end in the snow, right? And they fall down a snowbank, you know, a bit like the original, you know, a bit snowy.
So essentially,
and the typewriter the last typewriter falls out of the back of the car and slides down the embankment, and he's reaching out for it like in the film. He's like, and she's on top of him like choking him, and he grabs it and just goes smash, smashes her head in again. That was the last clone. Okay, the end.
So these clones essentially all go their own way. But then from what you've just told me, it sounds like some of them at least come back together for the epic battle at the end.
No. They're all singular. They've all got
Oh,
their own.
right. So the last battle,
he has to go find them by various clues and little pieces of paper and things.
What clues did these Annies leave?
There's like letters from one Annie to another, and there's like they keep in touch, emails. You know, it's the modern times now. You know, get with the times. You know, there's different
it's the information age now. Come on.
Yeah, there's different correspondence that he has to go through. You know, and he's like, here's an email from an Annie in Wyoming.
Does he ever kill the wrong Annie? Does he go for an Annie and it's not the right Annie, but he just kills them anyway?
No, because they all look like Kathy Burke, who's going to be before you, is it Kathy? It's
Kathy Burke.
Yeah.
Not Kathy Burke.
Kathy Burke's a British. Yeah, Kathy
Bates. She's great. I love Kathy Burke.
No, Kathy Burke's brilliant, but she's
Kathy Burke's in it. Kathy Burke's in it.
Oh,
she's great, Annie Will.
Right, she's in it. Kathy Burke is now in it. So yeah, they're all. I was going to say the CGI'd her, but they aren't now. It's just Kathy Burke playing them all. Kathy Bates. Close enough. That's it, Kathy Bates. I don't know what your question was. The information.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
So letters, emails, maybe one of them on a webcam, like where, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
So in this particular world, the cloning process not only replicates like DNA and stuff, but also attitudes, memories, and that kind of thing. Because, or is that, were there some very angry Annies and some very cheerful Annies? Like some days she just walk in and go, "What are you doing?" And then she come back in and go, "Oh, I'll get you some more tea."
Well, you noticed in the film she walks out of the room quite a lot and then comes back in, doesn't she? In a different kind of. So they're all various degrees of Annie, really.
Are they tagging each other in and out?
Yeah. It's like
good Annie, bad Annie.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
I mean, the odd time she flips when she's still just in the room, doesn't she? But the other times, like, you know, when she goes in and she comes in the middle of the night and goes, that's just a full-on, the Annie who's got the most, the rage Annie, basically. She comes in. And then the cloning process at one point went wrong and they actually got an Annie from the musical Annie.
Oh, no.
Just got to type in names and it comes up. She shot blood her face with shotgun.
Yeah.
You see that in the movie. You see that in the movie.
I imagine that's why she got the pig, so that if any more orphan Annies came up, they could just feed it straight to Misery.
Yeah. I thought that were on the cards. I thought she was going to feed a bit of him to pig, but she didn't.
Whenever there's a pig, an unusual pet in a thing like this, you always sort of go, I wonder what that eats, and is it people?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they were having a good sniff at him, wasn't it, on bed? It was freaking me out. I didn't like that bit.
But it turns out the pig comes in to say hello, and then later is watching TV or listening to Liberace with her, and then we just never see the pig again. So we can only assume that it was a complete red herring. Yeah, so to speak.
Yeah. Is that all the questions?
That's all my questions.
Yeah. Yep. Good. That's all.
All right. Cool. Eddie, it's your turn for your sequel, please.
All right then. It turns out Nat and I did not come up with the same sequel.
Oh, good. No poo, no? No poo.
No, but it was because you were talking about Buster, the sheriff. And so Buster is dead. Silver Creek is worse off without him. His spirit does still do the rounds, though. His ghost floats around the town, occasionally manipulating things so that people stay safe. He'll knock some snow off a branch so people turn around and don't step out in front of a thing. He might make a noise in the forest so that people stay out of harm's way. Although one day, a big accident happens in town. There's a big car pileup, and some people are very badly hurt, and he's quite distraught, thinking, I should have known, I should have been there. But then he sees a sort of a familiar form sort of leaving the site. Annie is back, and this time she's dead. So it's a race against time to apprehend Annie's ghost before she can do any more harm. But the problem is, he finds her quite easily, but the problem is that this time she has a friend, the dark sorcerer Randall Flagg, disguised as Liberace. is helping her exact revenge upon the town that spurned her. Although Buster finds a way to defeat Annie in this case. He tricks Flag into swearing so that Annie turns on him, calling him a dirty birdie and smashing him with a big ghostly sledgehammer. Flag destroys her spirit out of rage, and then he just leaves and goes off to another place or time or something to do bad stuff forever.
Oh, you know how to press my buttons with Stephen King. I do. Oh.
Well, yeah. Chris, not a big Stephen King reader. Do you know who Randall Flagg is?
I've got. Oh, is it the dude out of Pet Sematary?
No.
He's
he's
monster.
No, he's not. He's the bad guy from The Stand and a lot of other and the Dark Tower series.
I've read the body.
It's good, isn't it? He's essentially the devil.
Yeah, he's like a demon or the devil. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that was so.
It's a moderate cut for Stephen King fans.
Is there any Stephen King fans in the comments? Let us know if you knew what that was.
I would go see that straight away. I've not got any questions. I've not got any questions.
You haven't got a question?
I got any questions.
All right, I've got a question for you. How will you get people on board who don't know what the hell you're talking about?
Well,
how will you get them into the cinema to watch the film? How will you hook them, Eddie?
Well, what the hook is that Annie is back and looking for revenge. The fact that she's got assistance from the Thanos of the Stephen King world is neither here nor there.
All right, okay.
It's just that her sort of ghostly powers have been amped up a bit by essentially a demony devil type because she's so good at causing harm and wanting revenge and that kind of thing. So it's sort of more about seeing Buster take down Annie. The Randall Flagg bit isn't that. It's a reveal at the end. It's sort of like it's like sort of at the like the end of Iron Man. The fact that Nick Fury's there is exciting for people who knew who Nick Fury was, but for people who don't, they'll just go, they'll probably want to know. They'll go, I need to find out who that is, and then you find out. So
it's not integral to watching the film. You don't have from the get-go.
No. The whole film is the pursuit is tracking down Ghost Annie by Ghostbuster, by the Ghost of Buster. The Ghostbusters are in it, Chris. Vote for me.
Can you call it Ghostbuster?
Maybe, yeah.
And also,
Misery 2, Ghostbusters.
They've just made The Stand on CBS. So lots of people more people may know who Randall Flagg is because they've just remade it with Whoopi Goldberg and people like that. So, and one of the Skarsgårds.
Even so, he's more Nick Fury at the end of Iron Man than he is a major role in it. But the fact that his presence has been in there retrospectively will mean people go, "Oh my god, that is Randall Flagg." So
do what I did, get excited. Yeah,
cool. Okay, let's vote then. You can vote on the comments, obviously, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Get your votes in. We'll have a look at them in a minute. Let's vote in the room, though.
I'm straight in with Eddie. I'm voting for Eddie. It's got me.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm going to vote. I like the pooing on the grave, and I like the machine going through her. The
snowplow. Yeah.
But I prefer the ghost, so.
I mean, Buster's a lovely character. I loved Buster, so.
Yeah, I'm going to go for that. I'd watch Buster floating around for 2 hours solving problems.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm not even bitter that I didn't get your vote. I love Buster.
I think the desecration of the graves is funny enough for me to want to watch that. So I will go for Nats.
Thank you.
Let's have a look online. We've got Big Timor, Nat.
Mrs. Deathplow.
Well,
thank you, Big Timor.
That's my name. That name again is Mrs. Deathplow.
We need some more votes in. Is anybody else going to vote? People are watching online. Is anybody going to vote? We're going to have to close it soon. If not, it's neck and neck. Oh, we got it. Here we go. Nats was the only one that made sense. What? No.
Yeah, pooing on people's graves and killing people with snowplow obviously
So
makes sense.
you're
Thank you,
saying
Lou.
cloning or ghost sheriffs don't make sense. I mean,
I don't know what you want.
have you ever
What
watched
do you
the
want?
movie, Louise? Have you ever watched a movie?
You leave
seen-
Louise alone. She's my
You've seen
pal.
Ghostbusters or Attack of the Clones? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
All right, Louise. We'll
Thank
let
you,
off.
Lou. I appreciate
I
that.
vote for Nat.
What did
Martin
you expect,
Cameron.
Fellini?
Thank you, Martin.
Oh, that's good.
Thanks, Martin. That's lovely.
Okay,
See, there's
well,
someone who can vote for someone without denigrating the efforts of others. Well done, Martin. That was very classy of you.
yeah. Let's have a look. That's it. I think that's the votes
That
in.
is it, yeah.
That's it. Nat,
That's
you've won that
runaway
round.
Nat.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Come on, Eddie. It's all to play for.
I did notice I didn't get a little round of applause off you when I won, but you know,
Oh.
it's fine. It's fine. You know, if that's how you're playing the game tonight, it's all still to play for.
The problem is, Chris, is that when you're hosting it as well, and you say, "I won that," and then look expectantly for applause, so it doesn't really do you any favors, does it?
I'm just so glad you're courteous when we have guests on. That's all. I'm so glad you're courteous to them because I can see how it works the other way around when you're not. So I'm glad you actually give them the respect.
Are you upset, Chris?
When they come
Are
on.
you upset?
You will be sorry, Louise.
Oh,
Hey!
yeah.
You leave Louise alone.
Don't take it out. Don't take it
You
out
won't,
on Louise
you won't.
just because we're
Wait till you
seeing you.
take it out.
That isn't all right.
That's not all right. I don't even know who Louise is. I'm sorry, Louise. Is that your friend, Nat?
That's my friend. She's a lovely lady. Yeah.
All
So
right.
that's why you got the vote. There you go.
Well,
Right.
Flaky,
Okay.
Flaky Jane does sound like she works in an ice cream van.
Flaky Jane.
Yeah.
Flaky Jane.
Yeah, Louise Flaky Jane. It's like you hear the music. I get a 99, and she's like, "Oh, that's missing something. You know, what could it be missing, Flaky Jane?" Before you know it, boom, flake right in there. It's yours.
She's already voted. You can't win her over now.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but I imagine that is the nicest way you can interpret the name Flaky Jane. So anyway,
I believe you may not owe her a second apology because she voted for you in the first round, Christopher. I think.
I can't remember.
She definitely didn't vote for me in the first round. I think she voted for you. So you may have to say sorry
I can't
there.
remember.
Yeah?
I can't remember. Thank you for voting for me in the first round, Flaky Jane. Why is she called Flaky Jane? Do we know?
I don't know.
I know Eddie had a theory, but it's the real reason.
yeah.
I'd like to think the theory is true.
We don't know. Anyway, let's move on to the requels. So this is the reboots, remasters, reimagining, reawakenings, whatever you want to do with the film. Okay, it's my turn first this time. Sorry, because I've mixed it all up. Obviously, we're going order. All right, you ready for this? It won't take long. Mine is Misery.
Oh, romance me more, Mr. Lumb.
Mine is Misery the musical.
Oh.
All right,
I'm
turn it into a
listening.
musical. It stars Lin-Manuel. What's his name?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Manuel Miranda. Yeah, I picked some. Don't even know
Glad
how to
you're
say
doing
the name.
your research there.
Yeah, and also, so he's going to be playing obviously Paul, the writer. You know, I thought he'd be up for that, and he can hold it. He's got a set of pipes, I mean, he can hold the tune, right? And then Melissa McCarthy as Kathy Bates.
There's Kathy Bates.
As Kathy from Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, as Annie. So yeah, Melissa McCarthy as Annie. I thought
I'd like to see her do that. I think it'd be good.
Yeah, she's you know.
Is she
I reckon
playing
she
it
could do
straight? Or is she playing it straight, or is she playing it for laughs?
Oh, it's straight. It's like it's a musical now. You know, there's no comedy musicals out there.
No. There's nothing inherently
serious.
absurd about musicals.
Oh, it's serious. You know, it's like she's playing it because you would expect, wouldn't you? She actually challenges herself with this role to actually do it straight. You know what I mean? You know, we've all seen Mike and Molly, I'm sure, where she's having a right laugh and jumping around with Mike.
But in this one,
stuff.
Annie don't jump.
No, she's serious, you know, and they've got all the really good stage, like, you know, musicals now, they can do all sorts, can't they? So you've got the scene with the car on stage flying off the cliff.
So this is going to be filmed like Hamilton was, where we just see it on the stage.
It's on the stage. You're not filming it. You can't have a film of this. You've got to go watch it.
Oh, sorry, this is running in Broadway.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hang on. So this isn't a film.
It's a Broadway music. It's
Oh my
what?
God, you are completely confusing me. I can't
It's
do
a
this
Broadway
anymore.
musical. What don't you understand? It's not a musical
I
film.
just thought it was a reboot that you'd film. I assumed it was a musical film.
Well,
Oh,
like
hang on.
Hairspray
Shit, I forgot we're
or-
doing a film show. It's
Yeah.
filmed as well. Filmed as well. It's actually filmed from the stage, or like you say. Is that what you
Oh,
mean?
okay. Like
Like
the
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
And
okay.
Shrek
That's
the
what I meant.
musical.
That's what
That
I
I
meant.
got 10
yeah.
minutes in and went, what's this? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay. The songs. I've got a song list for you.
Okay.
The Dirty Birdie song.
Nice.
It's like the
Nice.
Birdie song.
Yeah, nice.
Right. Can you play that?
No, but I'm just going. You dirty birdie.
No, the Birdie song.
Yeah, no, I don't know how to. Why would I know how to play that?
I
How
don't
did that
know.
ever come up in my days as a musician?
Well, don't pick the guitar up if you don't know how to play the Birdie song.
I was trying to do a dirty. I was going to sing a dirty birdie.
Should be in your set. The first rule you should learn when you're playing guitar. Everybody knows this. You need to plot the Birdie song.
Even Keith Richards learned the Birdie song, Eddie.
Keith Richards plays a mean Birdie song. He plays a dirty Birdie song. I'm still doing my pitch, by the way. I haven't finished. Again, there's no respect. There's no respect for you guys in here. Okay, right. Here we go.
Can't believe
There's another
Jackie
song.
Mason is stealing Rodney Dangerfield's material.
I know. Yeah, they both sound the same. Right, okay. There's another song called My Windscreen's Blocked. That's quite a dramatic number. You can try and play a bit of that if you want. It's not based on the song. But then what the musical producers did, they started nicking songs because they run out of time to make it. There's really bad controversy around this, right? So they've got one called Don't Go Breaking My Feet, which is Don't Go Breaking My Heart, and just nicked it and put them lyrics to it.
But that is a
And then
duet. That's good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And this is the worst one, though, because they've got two songs in about feet being broken, and the other one is called Reap My Feet, like Reap Petite.
Right.
Yeah. Reap My Feet. You know. There's one called Pills, Glorious Pills, when he's in the room trying to get the pills down. You know, so it's got all the scenes from the film in it, just in musical form, like the best music.
Does that one have a full chorus of Annie Wilkes clones doing like
Yeah, it can do.
pills,
Oh my
glorious
God.
pills?
I mean, this is based on the original film, so no.
Oh, shit.
It's got I Shot the Sheriff in it, but that's just a song. They've not even bothered covering that one up. So they're going to get sued for that one. And then there's a song called New Paper Shuffle, which is when she goes to get the new paper for him. And he's like shuffling about. So, but it's all like he's got a chorus line of dancers there with him when he does that. And it goes into like,
And none of them help him off the floor.
No, because they're in his mind, you know, he's like shuffling. It's a good one, that. It's a good number. And then there's Cabin Fever, which was in the Muppets Treasure Island.
I love
And
Cabin Fever.
Yeah, they've got that song in it for no reason other than it's called Cabin Fever. It's like, and there's Muppets in it.
Right.
It's like,
okay.
yeah. And then all the song. Oh, there's a song called Upturned Car as well, like Uptown Girl. That's it.
So, I mean, immediately what
Questions?
springs to mind to me is the amount of royalties you're going to have to be paying out. Will you make any money on this by the time you finished?
No, it's the producer's scam all over again. They're planning to lose money. So
Okay.
yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
That was easy.
Straight away. Yeah. That's
All right,
fine.
Eddie, have you got a question?
Yes. Has it really only been a year since you've written one of these? Because it feels like the deterioration is a lot greater.
I did. I don't know when the last time I did it. I've got stuff for last Starfighter. I think was the last one I ever did. But the first time we did it, so we did it twice.
Yeah, that's true. We did it
So
live in Geek Retreat.
So in my defense, yeah, it were ages ago. It were like 2 Christmases ago. So yeah. Okay. Was that the question?
No. So obviously, this is mainly a apart from the chorus and the kick line and stuff. This is a sort of very much the Muppets and stuff. It's this is a 2-person thing, really, isn't it? It's a 2-person show. Mm-hmm. So, is it going to be one of those where there's like one other person who plays all the parts that aren't those two, or are we going to have sort of some cameos from like well-established but sort of largely retired performers as the agent, as the sheriff, as the shopkeeper, the sheriff's wife, etc.
It's a good question. Because they're losing money, they've gone for like a full cast, even though like the shopkeeper, for example, that could have easily been doubled up by somebody else. But they've actually just paid for loads of actors to come in, and usually have like a second, don't you, in the theatre? You know,
an understudy,
standby and all that understudy. Yeah, they've actually got 5 understudies for each character. And on one of the nights, they're going to try, you know, like they did with Frankenstein, with Benedict Cumberbatch, and they swap the characters. They're going to do that for a few shows as well. They're going to swap.
But are they just doing that ad hoc? Just no rhyme or reason. You've not learned the part. We're just
it's just they just try it.
One day they're going to Annie, you're the cop tonight. What? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So the full cast to give them all a go at it.
How?
The end.
How very fair and even-handed of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, Ed, your turn for your requels. Your requel, please.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So my requel, it's sort of a spiritual remake. Not that it's about God, but it's sort of it's the idea of Misery, but updated. So YouTube and TikTok star Clout and About is a young man on the rise. He spends his time filming himself doing mad shit for internet clout. One day, he goes into a wood to find out if there are any dead people he can film in there. But he gets hit by a branch and his legs are mangled and he's knocked out. He wakes up in a bed. He's in pain and confused. A woman gives him some pills and some water. Annie Wilkes, an up-and-coming beauty vlogger, recognizes Clout, and she is his biggest fan. She insists that he gets rest, but that his phone needs a new screen because it was broken by the branch, and the shop that does the screens isn't open yet, and that her Wi-Fi's down, sadly, so she's unable to get in touch with anyone, but it'll be done soon. Eventually, Clout gets suspicious and is worried about the lack of content and views that he's going to be getting. So he tries to escape, only to have Annie come in, tie him back down to the bed, take out a very large sledgehammer and smash his ring light and capture card. Crippled, he all but gives up. But then he suggests that they do a collab video and shout each other out, and they end up as a YouTube relationship channel. Which is actually a greater tragedy than the ending of the original film Misery.
Okay.
I've 21st centuried it.
Loved it. Will she have an amusing pet named after him that he meets and isn't very impressed with?
Oh yeah, she'll have. I imagine she'll have. I think it might be a pig. She might get one of those teacup pigs that's actually just a pig.
Yeah,
you know, there was sort of a bit of a. That is a bit out of date, but she may well do. Or that, or it was just she's a country girl. She grew up on a farm, but she's one of those. Just because I'm mucking with the pigs don't mean I can't have a nice smoky eye going on. You know, that kind of thing. So she's sort of rooting, tooting, and makeup and stuff. Shooting. So yeah, rooting, tooting, and shooting. You're correct. And looting.
Looting. Yeah. Right. My question is, what, if any, challenges are they going to do for the channel to generate views and income? Because as everybody knows now, you need viewers to generate money for your channel to sustain it. So
well, they're probably, because it's a relationship channel, there'll be a lot of pranks. They'll be pranking each other. They'll be doing the thing where Clout will sort of get Annie's mum and like be in bed with her. And then he'll go, "Oh, hey, Annie, come in here." And then she'll come in filming for some reason. And he'll be filming, and he'll go, "Oh, look, I'm proper knobbing up your mum." And she'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this." And they'll go, "Hey, look, I'm filming it, huh?" And she'll go, "Oh, no way." And then when they've put that through a lot of editing and processing and stuff like that. They'll upload it and go, oh, look at this off the cuff thing that we just did for a laugh and didn't plan. And there'll be that. I think they'll probably they'll start their own sort of challenges. They'll do the how many bones in your partner's leg can you break before they yell uncle. That's one they'll do with the sledgehammer. Okay. That'll be like their sort of signature one. People will be like, oh, are you going to do the Annie Clouts challenge? And they're like, oh, I don't know. Okay. And then, smash each other in the legs with a sledgehammer. Yeah. So, there'll be some of that going, of course, yeah.
All right, that's cool. Okay, thank you for answering the question.
No, thank you for asking it.
All right. Right, Nat, it's your turn for your Requel. Then.
Okay, all right then. So I think I've made it pretty clear that I'm a huge fan of both the book and the movie. So I didn't want to change or recast it, rather do it from a different point of view, because I don't feel like I want to see any of the actors playing any of the parts. Love it. So I want to see it from the point of view of Misery, the pig, because obviously Misery is in the house a lot. So I want to see almost as if Misery sees it all play out, from her carrying him home, dumping him in the bed. So Misery's a little bit like a bit of a dog from the looks of it. When Annie Wilkes disappears, does Misery get upset because she doesn't know when she's going to come back? I want to see some like little montage scenes of Annie running through the snow with Misery, Annie feeding Misery, Annie putting like little bows on Misery and hats. And I also want to see the montage scenes of Paul and Misery making friends, because I think in the end he probably likes Misery, and hopefully will rehome her when he kills her owner. So again, I want to see a little montage of them having a cup of tea, sharing a laugh, him telling the pig a joke, and the pig being like, ha, like that type of thing. And then obviously at the end, I want to see when Misery releases her tell-all book about what it was like to live with Annie Wilkes. And she will sell a story to the paper. There'll be an Oprah interview. There'll be at the front page of every sort of newspaper. Martin Bashir will get the UK interview version of the Oprah one. It's going to be pretty big.
It won't be very good, though.
Won't be very good, no. But like Misery will go on the circuit then. So we'll see Paul, from Paul coming back to Paul killing her owner, because obviously that's trauma. And then we see her heal from that, make money from the whole thing, and go on tour with it. Yeah, that's my reboot.
Okay.
Will my question is, will it turn out that Misery is actually the mother of Babe, and there's
I was gonna say that.
Oh no, because I think there could be quite an interesting Debbie Reynolds, Carrie Fisher dynamic.
Babe 2, Pig in the City.
Yeah, I think that would work.
That as well, yes. But have the mother thrust into the limelight at a young age and traumatic circumstances, and then go on to have an equally troubled sheep pig as a daughter, like Debbie Reynolds did.
Yeah.
My understanding is that's what Singing in the Rain was about, wasn't it? I don't know.
It is now.
Okay.
So once she gets on that circuit and she's like on the Jimmy Kimmel show and she's meeting Jimmy Fallon and like she's doing that whole thing.
All the Jimmys.
Jimmys.
Do you think Jimmy Fallon would go on Jimmy Kimmel? Would that be weird?
I think he probably already does go on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, but he'd still just be smirking and looking at the camera, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then I've got a question. Would he refuse to go on James Corden's show, or would he go on it?
Yes, no, absolutely, 100%. Misery wouldn't go on James Corden's show. Even if you paid the pig in truffles, which we all know is a pig's Achilles heel, would still refuse to do it because we all know why. That's like in the rider.
Yeah,
not allowed.
For fear that Corden might accidentally gain access to her phone number.
Yes,
then just game over. You can't go anywhere. Then you've just got to jump into a volcano if Corden gets your number.
James Corden actually has to get a restraining order out on her because she does make it very publicly known in an interview that she would eat him if she was ever left in the same room with him.
that she's going to poo on his grave and throw cat poo at him.
And yes, exactly. Yeah. And interestingly enough, she becomes also an advisor to movies. So in the scenes in the last Hannibal Lecter movie with Julianne Moore, where they're essentially going to feed Lecter to the pig's feet first. Like she was the one that was in there giving all the technical advice on whether pigs would do that, how they would have to do it, talking to the pigs, training them.
She's talking to the pigs like, okay, ladies, places, tits and teeth. Come on now, we're doing it for real now. Okay, action, love
up
it.
the noses, that type of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, so she becomes actually quite a big player in Hollywood. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Interesting. Right, that's all the requels then. So we've got to vote. So if you're watching along online, thank you very much. You can vote now for your favourite. We'll vote in the room as well. Okay.
Oh, this is tricky because I liked both of yours.
Yeah, it is. It's a difficult one.
I'm gonna go for Nats.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to see the point of view from the pig story. I like the idea.
I think I'd like to see Chris's. I think having a seriously done and we didn't even find out who was going to play Misery and what song Misery would get to sing in Misery.
The big one,
it'll be Miss Piggy. There's Muppets in it. It's going to be Miss Piggy, obviously. I'm an idiot. I don't know why I didn't. That was implicit.
Yeah.
But I think Chris's, because I like an all-out stage musical, and it sounds like this has had enough money to be thrown at it that it would be as calamitous as Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Yeah.
And I think, as much as I love a good musical, and I do, this, I think that Eddie's remake was a very clever twist on modern times. And I know several people who follow at least 500 of those awful relationship channels. So just to see that crash and burn and watch it all develop and then see how that comes from the inside would do me. So I'm going to vote for Eddie.
Right.
One each. Oh, it's
cool. One each. Let's have a look then. Oh, votes online. Here we go. The first one. Big Team O, Mr. French for Misery, innit? Ooh.
Yeah, it could work as a title. I don't
Big
hate
Team
it.
O also put this were earlier. So that's like Baron Greenback.
From Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse.
See, though I'm not the only
8:54. I did that at 8:54 apparently, because that's what time it was. 8:54. Baron Greenback. That's my Baron. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Baron Greenback.
That's funny. It hurts.
Baron. No, it don't, because my impressions are terrible. So I'm not bothered.
I did that when I did Dr. Claw the other week. It was really horrible.
What was the Danger Mouse while we're waiting for the votes to fly in?
That was Baron Greenback.
What was the crow called? Was it just called Crow?
Oh, I can't remember.
Don't know.
Si Baroni. Baron Greenback. Catch Danger Mouse. Yeah. Can't do Danger Mouse. With thingy, wasn't it?
It was David Jason.
David Jason, yeah.
I say DM.
Yeah.
I can't remember who was Penfold.
This thingy was Carry On, your man.
Yeah.
Terry Scott.
Yeah.
Quacky DM.
Oh,
okay,
I say
Penfold. Yeah, can't fucking do them, can we?
Can't do any David Jason voice. His voice is too difficult.
I know somebody who can do David Jason really well. He
Wow.
was on. It's a guy who was. He was on. It's called Mike, and he was from. He does them all. He does all the Fools and Horses impressions. Are great.
Oh, cool.
I need to get him on and I've asked him to come on here. He could do all his impressions.
So we can do To Hull and Back.
Yeah, he can do the whole thing. We got more vote. Here we go.
Miami twice.
Here we go. Nats. Oh.
Thanks, Lou.
Oh wait, this is the side coming up right now.
Oh.
No. I can't believe it.
Mine.
I can't believe it.
I think Matt is the biggest fan of Misery here, though, so that might explain it.
Yeah, that does explain it.
We never stood a chance, Chris.
Yeah, no other reason. She's the biggest fan of it.
Oh yeah,
You're more bothered. You've won. No, let's do it properly. Well done, Natalie. You've won tonight's prequel, sequel, requel.
Thank you
done.
very
much.
That was very good.
Thank
well
you.
done, indeed.
Thank you. All the Stephen King
we've-
fans would never have spoken to me again if I hadn't have won.
Yeah.
We've finished early tonight as well, an hour and 15. Well, it's because we didn't do the recaps, isn't it? That takes ages usually. That's good. Right then. So first of all, let's do some quick plugging. Nat, have you got anything to plug?
No, still really rubbish. No.
I'll tell you what. Since Sam actually couldn't come on, Sam Mays, check out her comedy page on Facebook. She was supposed to be our guest tonight. She had some problems with a house, so she had to get out of the house because we like
Problems with the house.
Problems
That's a
with the house.
brilliantly vague reason. And we know what the reasons are.
Amityville
but-
horror. It went. Get out.
Just
And
bleeding
then all these
water.
Annie Wilkes clones just came out of nowhere, and there was a
But
pig.
no, she had. She had.
We know what it was, but
bathroom ripped out or something. So she couldn't be in the house, so she had to move. So that's why she's not on tonight. But thanks anyway, Sam, for coming in. You were going to come in, and so look at Sam's comedy stuff online because gigs are coming back soon, and everybody needs a gig. So Nat,
need
you've not
an
got
audience
anything
for
to
that
plug
gig.
then.
No, I'm rubbish.
Okay.
No.
Eddie, what have you got to plug before we go?
Same as usual, IC News, Fire Breathing Kittens, both podcasts. Fire Breathing Kittens is a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons podcast. IC News is a satirical news show. You might hear my voice in it. You might hear Chris's voice in it. You might hear neither of our voices in it, depending on what Sam, the guy who runs it, asks us to do. Usually just keep quiet. Or don't change my script. It's brilliant. He's never said that to me. But there's that. There's also the Discount Comedy Checkout Improv Show podcast, which you can get anywhere you get podcasts. Discount Comedy Checkout Improv Show. They're coming out every Friday, and they are super cool fun. So, yes, I think that's all.
Awesome, cool. Right then, my stuff. I've got tomorrow night. I've got What's the Score on Box Office Radio show soundtrack thing. Tune in for that 8 o'clock. I play different soundtrack. I've just got a message here, Big Team All, that want a request. I need to do the request in advance, Big Team All. I'll put that on next week for you though, because I've already picked this week. I'll get on for you. I know you put one last week actually, and I forgot all about it. Sorry about that. What did you ask for last week? And I'll put both of them for you on. If you write in comments, I'll put them both. Yeah, I'll put them both on. If you tell me what the other one was, because we don't check these messages afterwards. So anyway, that's tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Box Office Radio. What's the Score? Saturday, I've got It's All Geek to Me with Rich and Nath, Geek Show. This week, I think I need to check with them, but we're doing a retrospective of episode 4, A New Hope. So that'll be all right. And then Sunday, myself and Nat and some of the other guys who used to be in Discount, we're doing what do you call it? A commentary on Tut Bushman and the Demon Bitch Bags. And we did the one yesterday for Legend of Piddledowndale. We enjoyed it. We're all right. People came on, left us some comments. So we'll do that on Sunday as well. Other than that, next week, Monday, we're doing Spaceballs Classic. We usually struggle with comedy, so we'll see how we get on. But we've got Matt Jackson coming on for that as well on the panel as our guest. So that'll be nice. We'll have a bit of a laugh on that one. So Monday night, prequel, sequel, requel, 8 o'clock. Join us for a bit of fun. Thanks so much to everybody for coming in tonight and leaving your votes and your comments. We can't do this without you because it just be us in here. So that's really nice of you.
See if Big Team All's put his other request on.
Yeah, just send us a message, Big Team All, with your other stuff on it. The Entertainer, I've got that. The Entertainer. That's the one, isn't it?
The orchestral version.
I want to make sure it's, no singing for you. No singing for you. No soup for you.
I forgot all my records. So this is Indiana Jones. That's your show.
I do like the orchestral version, yeah. Nice. Right then, that's it from us. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, really appreciate you coming on here with us on Monday night. Have a safe week, everybody. Right, we'll see you next time. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye-bye.